Good evening and welcome to tonight's news update. I'm Bismil, and here are the top stories making headlines today. We begin with breaking news in the world of finance. The Nasdaq Composite has surged past 20,000 points for the first time in history.
The Nasdaq's climb is largely attributed to booming interest in artificial intelligence. Tech stocks, especially those focused on AI, have experienced unparalleled growth. Companies like Nvidia, Microsoft, and Alphabet have seen their stock prices soar.
Indeed, it's fascinating to witness how AI is reshaping markets. We will continue to monitor the situation closely. In the Middle East, a glimmer of hope emerges in the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas. Israel's defense chief, Yoav Gallant, hints at a potential breakthrough in negotiations for hostages held by Hamas, including U.S. citizens.
This follows tense diplomatic negotiations aimed at securing their release. Israel is in talks with international partners, including the U.S. Gallant emphasized Israel's commitment to bringing home all hostages. President Biden has discussed the matter with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. The outcome of these talks remains uncertain. Hostages include civilians and military personnel held since October. International organizations call for a ceasefire to aid humanitarian efforts. Civilian casualties continue to rise in Gaza.
This is an incredibly fluid situation, and we will bring you updates as more information becomes available. Moving on to another development with significant global implications. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has stated that the Biden administration is eyeing additional sanctions on Russian oil exports. With global oil demand slowing, the U.S. sees an opportunity to tighten sanctions on Russia.
These sanctions aim to limit Russia's revenue from oil sales, funding its war in Ukraine. However, enforcing the price cap has been challenging, with Russia finding alternative buyers. Yellen suggests stricter measures, potentially targeting Russian oil trading hubs. The success of these measures depends on coordinated efforts among Western allies. Next, we turn to a high-profile legal battle here in the United States.
In a significant legal development, the U.S. Supreme Court has rejected Nvidia's attempt to avoid a securities fraud lawsuit. The case centers on allegations that Nvidia misled investors about the impact of cryptocurrency mining on its business performance.
Nvidia, a major player in the semiconductor industry, has been at the center of a securities fraud suit filed by investors. The plaintiffs claim that Nvidia failed to disclose the risks associated with its reliance on cryptocurrency miners for a substantial portion of its revenue, particularly during the cryptocurrency boom of the past several years. The company had argued that it should be shielded from the lawsuit, claiming that the investors' allegations were based on hindsight and that the company had disclosed all material information. However, the Supreme Court's decision to let the case proceed means that Nvidia will now face a prolonged legal battle, potentially exposing the company to significant financial and reputational risks. This case highlights the growing scrutiny that tech companies, particularly in the AI and cryptocurrency sectors, face in the age of transparency and increased investor activism. Legal experts suggest that the outcome could have far-reaching implications for corporate governance in the tech industry.
The legal ramifications of this case could be monumental, as it may set a precedent for how companies are held accountable for their financial disclosures. We will keep an eye on developments as they unfold.